Hey guys, Ernie here and welcome to the Paleo Hiker MD channel. When you love stoves like I do, you look for pretty much any excuse to get a new one. When you see one that looks a little different, seems a little unique, you think, I gotta have that stove. Well, that's the case today. Let's check out a unique looking remote canister stove from the company ALOCS. Thanks for watching, guys. I've had pretty good success with the company ALOCS in the past, and honestly in the comment section it's one of the brands I get most asked to review and check out, and it's a brand that seems pretty popular amongst my subscribers. After a while some of these stoves start to look alike, so when you see something a little different you get intrigued. Let me show you guys what I found. So let's start with this case. Y'all know I love a good stove case, and look at this thing. It is nice. It's pretty firm. Holds the stove very nicely, compactly. Let's pull this bad boy out. Very nice, heavy gauge fuel line. These pop out, just like that. And there's your stove. Dimensions folded up are 4 by 4 by 3.5, and open like this is 7 by 7 by 3.5. They claim the stove itself weighs 11 ounces. Let's see if that's how much it actually weighs. Right on the money. Materials are stainless steel, it's got some copper, and it's got some aluminum. It does include a piezo igniter that seems to work extremely well. We already discussed the case, but I'll bring it up again. It is sturdy and very nice. It's made in China. On AliExpress, it is $35 for this stove, which I think is pretty reasonable. If you look at the burner, it's very interesting. It has kind of a central, like tornado type effect, but it also has this exterior ring. I'll show you guys here in a second when we look at the flame pattern. In fact, let's take this outside where it's nice and dark. You'll be able to see this flame pattern, and after we see that, we'll boil some water. Here we are with the ALOCS remote canister stove. Very unique flame. We'll get it going. I like this stove. It has got excellent control. You can see in the center there, it's kind of like a little bit of a cyclone effect in the middle, but then you also have that ring around the outside, so it's like two different ways to heat your pot. It's got that outer ring as well as the inner ring. Very, very nice design. Crank it up. Puts off some serious BTUs, and again, you can see in the center there that it is a cyclone effect. I think just a really cool stove. Just a quick note, I am using my ever-new titanium mug pot. This is a 900 milliliter mug pot, 5 inches wide. Just fits. I mean, it's very stable, but this is probably, you couldn't go with anything. 4 3/4 will be pushing it. You need that 5 inches. So we're gonna get this going. I weighed my fuel, so let me get it going, and then we'll start our timer. Turned up all the way. Let's see what we get. All right, once again, 245, boiling at 2 minutes 45 seconds. Let's measure this fuel out. So 6 minutes 45 seconds and a very impressive 6 grams of fuel. One of the things ALOCS claims about this stove is that it uses 30% less fuel than the normal canister stove. I will tell you that most of my testing, and I've done a lot of it, it'll use between 8 and 10 grams for a canister stove to bring 2 cups of water to a boil. So 6 grams is a pretty good deal. So it's time to talk about what we think about this stove. We always like to look at pros and cons, and we'll do that here in a second. Like I said earlier, this stove seemed a little bit different to me, so I figured I'd check it out just to see that unique kind of burner design. Of note, some of the documentation I see online from ALOCS says that this is an infrared burner. It is not an infrared burner. I assume that was probably meant for some other of their stoves that was put in the wrong column. But nonetheless, this seems to just be your standard gas burner, but it does have that cyclone effect like we talked about earlier. The company claims about 30% less fuel usage. I won't say that it's that good. I have experience with a lot of canister stoves, and they do tend to use up a lot of fuel. I'd say this one probably uses about 20% less fuel than your typical canister stove. Now, I will note that the actual burner is fairly small, and when you get a smaller burner, you're not going to put so much fuel through there. That's good for efficiency, but you're not getting as hot a burn as some of the other stoves you might get. Well, what can I say? I do like this stove. You can really control the flame very nicely. You can simmer very, very nicely with it, and that's something that is often overlooked. We want to just boil things, boil water as quickly as we can. But sometimes if you're cooking like a soup or something like that, or a rice dish, you want to be able to turn it down and really simmer it, or you're just going to scorch the you-know-what out of it at the bottom. You want something with good control like this stove. Carrying cases are also something that I tend to really hone in on. I think carrying cases are overlooked. This is a very nice carrying case. You can use it to carry the stove, you can use it to carry other things if you need to, but it is a very well made carrying case. At the time of this filming, the stove's only available on AliExpress. If it comes available on Amazon, I'll make sure and leave a link down below. But I have ordered many things from AliExpress. Of course, I've had a few issues, I think once or twice. Maybe over the years, I would say I've ordered 50 items. I think one of them never got to me, but the money was restored. And I think once or twice, the wrong item was sent to me. But once again, those things were sorted out. So overall, I've had a good experience. I don't know what you guys have had experience with, but no problems for me. I think this is the perfect type stove to keep around for an emergency. We've had tons of emergencies recently where I live, hurricanes, ice storms. People are always looking for a way to make sure they can take care of their family in those emergencies. Every time we have one of these events where power is out for many people for 3 days or 5 days, it's like nobody ever realized that maybe the power would go out. Maybe they wouldn't have utilities for a while. After Hurricane Laura, we were out for 14 days, and to be honest with you guys, with the amount of destruction everywhere, I was impressed with that. They got the majority of our town, the area where I live in, back up in 2 or 3 days. Now, we live kind of in the country, so it took a longer time. But it's hard when, 40% of trees get knocked down and hundreds of miles of power lines get knocked out. I mean, it's unbelievable how quickly things go back to normal. But regardless, until they get back to normal, you need something that you can use to take care of your family. This is a great stove. It's inexpensive. It's small enough that you can pop it almost anywhere in your house. It'll run off the little canisters. Once everything dies down, head out to Walmart or Academy or Dick's Sporting Goods, buy yourself 5 or 6 of these canisters. Look, they cost $5. They never go bad. Get yourself 5 of them, 25 bucks, put them in the corner. I know it's 25 bucks, but look guys, they'll be there when you need it. And this is the perfect example of the type of stove that you can use in those situations to cook for your family. Simple stuff, boil water, rehydrate meals, cook some ramen noodles. Perfect stove for that. Not sure if you guys are aware, but I have an entire playlist on stoves if you want other options for off-grid living, emergency situations, not just gas stoves. If you want a wood stove or a rocket stove that runs off wood, maybe you want a solid fuel stove or an alcohol stove, I got all kinds of options for you on my stove playlist. If you like this video, guys, do me a favor, stop right now, hit that thumbs up down below, really helps the channel. Helps me out tremendously. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscription button. And if you want to be absolutely sure you don't miss any videos, hit the notification bell and you will be the first to know when I release new videos. It's been storming on and off here as I've made videos in Arkansas. I am on a little trip. I'm near the little town of Hatfield, Arkansas, along what I think is the Mountain Fork River. I did catch 2 largemouth bass yesterday, which is pretty exciting. It's going to be nice tomorrow, so I hope to get out and do some more fishing. I'd love to catch a trout or a smallmouth, neither of which I've ever caught, so that would be pretty cool. As always, guys, I appreciate you checking out the Paleo Hiker MD channel. Stay tuned for more videos soon.